Welcome to The Explainer. So today we're diving into a revolution that's brewing in healthcare. It's one that promises a doctor right there in your pocket, but, it also comes with a pretty serious warning label. For millions and millions of Americans, this question, it's not just a question, it's a source of constant, gnawing anxiety. And honestly, when you see the numbers, you'll get why. Get this, $5.27 trillion. That is what the U.S. spent on healthcare in 2024 alone. That is a staggering new record. To put that in perspective for you, that's nearly a fifth of the entire U.S. economy. And if you break that down, it comes out to over $15,000 per person every single year. That's a cost that for a huge chunk of the population makes basic healthcare feel like a luxury, not a fundamental right.
And look, it's not just a crisis of cost, right? It's also a crisis of just being able to see a doctor. By 2036, the country is on track to be short 86,000 doctors. So even if you can afford the care, you might not be able to find it.
So these aren't just random numbers on a screen. What they really represent are these two massive crises that are just slamming into each other, pretty much breaking the American healthcare system. First, you've got this financial crisis of costs just spiraling out of control, and second, a demographic crisis of doctors literally vanishing. And this right here, this chart just shows you the brutal reality if you don't have insurance. A simple visit could set you back a few $100, but one trip to the emergency room, that could land you a bill that sends you into financial ruin. It's a system that basically forces people to wait until a small problem becomes an absolute catastrophe. And at the same time, the system is staring down this demographic cliff. More than 40% of our doctors are getting close to retirement, right as the population of older folks who need more care is exploding. And on top of that, nearly a third of doctors are so burned out, they just want to quit. It's a perfect storm. Okay, so what if the solution isn't just finding more doctors? What if it's a completely new kind of doctor, one powered by AI? A doctor that, fits in your pocket, costs almost nothing, and is there for you 24/7. And these new platforms are already popping up, and they're completely changing the game. For less than $20, a service like Healz.ai gives you an AI diagnosis that's then checked by a real human doctor. For just a few dollars a month, Docuse.ai can make sense of those super confusing lab results. All of a sudden, these healthcare services are available for just a tiny fraction of what they used to cost. Look, this tech isn't just a concept. It's already out there saving lives in ways that honestly sound like they're straight out of science fiction. Take the case of a 4-year-old boy named Alex. For 3 agonizing years, his parents took him to 17 different specialists, and not one of them could figure out why he was in constant pain. So after years of being dismissed and getting nowhere, his mom, in a moment of sheer desperation, turned to AI. She typed all of his symptoms and MRI data into ChatGPT, and almost instantly, it suggested a rare neurological condition that every single human expert had missed. Surgeons later confirmed it, saving him from what would have been a lifetime of pain. So AI can be this incredible genius, but it has this really dark side too. It's a technology of wild extremes. The big question is it a medical genius, or is it a dangerous charlatan? And this slide just lays that paradox out perfectly. On one side, you've got the genius, an AI that can actually outperform ER doctors and spot tiny cancers that human eyes just miss. But on the other side, you've got the charlatan, a system that confidently gets things dead wrong and will even make up fake scientific papers just to back up its own mistakes. And that's exactly why researchers are sounding the alarm here. As one pathologist put it, we have to use these tools with extreme caution. Because when AI gets it wrong, the consequences can be fatal. That clinical eye, that little spark of human intuition, it's still absolutely irreplaceable. Which of course brings us to maybe the biggest question in all of this. Even if the technology gets perfect, can we ever really truly trust a machine with our lives? Okay, so what do people actually think about this? Well, the public's take is actually fascinating. A 2024 survey from Deloitte found this deep paradox. Look at the chart. About a third of people say, no way, I completely distrust getting advice from an AI by itself. But a huge majority, almost 2/3, are totally cool with it, but only if a human doctor is still in charge.
But wait, there's an even deeper, kind of hidden problem here, something experts are starting to call data pathology.
See, an AI is only as smart as the data you train it on. And the unfortunate truth is, our medical history, our data, is just filled with biases against certain groups of people.
And this isn't some academic theory, okay? It's happening right now. Because AI is trained on data that is overwhelmingly from white, urban patients, it's already less accurate for other people. It misses skin cancer in patients with dark skin 28% more often. It misses pneumonia in rural patients 23% more often. And this creates this terrifying risk of a two-tiered system: human doctors for the wealthy and biased bots for everyone else.
So, let's be clear. The future here isn't going to be some sci-fi battle of humans versus robots. The real revolution isn't about replacing doctors, it's about partnering with them. We should be thinking augmentation, not automation.
And the potential payoff? It's absolutely huge. Analysts at Morgan Stanley think that just by focusing on helping doctors instead of replacing them, AI could save the U.S. healthcare system up to $1.5 trillion. I mean, that's money that could go to better care, lower costs, more research, you name it.
So what does that actually look like when you go to the doctor? Well, it means the next time you get a CT scan, an AI has probably already analyzed it, flagging anything suspicious for the radiologist to look at first. It means in the hospital, an AI is constantly watching patient data, ready to alert a nurse hours before a deadly infection like sepsis can take hold. And maybe best of all, it means your doctor can finally look you in the eye during your appointment because an AI is listening in the background, taking all the notes and killing the paperwork that causes so much burnout.
So no, the answer to that 86,000 doctor shortage isn't going to be 86,000 robots. It's about giving every single physician a powerful co-pilot that multiplies their impact, making them faster, more accurate, and ultimately, more human.
So yeah, this isn't some far-off future we're talking about. It's already here, working behind the scenes, checking your scans, or analyzing your lab results. The AI doctor isn't going to see you now, but it's already making your human doctor better. The real question is, as this technology gets more and more powerful, how do we make sure it actually closes the gaps in our healthcare system, instead of accidentally making them even wider?